What if I told you that some of history's wildest myths weren't just stories, but real events? From legendary floods to lost cities, ancient tales often hide shocking truths. Stay till the end to uncover the most surprising one. And if you love uncovering history's secrets, hit like and subscribe for more. Let's dive into the top 10 ancient myths that were actually based on real events. 10. The Labyrinth and the Minotaur. The ancient Greek myth tells of a terrifying half-man, half-bull monster called the Minotaur who lived in an intricate maze on Crete. Modern archaeologists believe this legend was inspired by the actual Palace of Knossos, an enormous complex with over 1,300 rooms and confusing corridors that would indeed feel like a labyrinth to visitors. The Minotaur likely represents the Minoan civilization's bull-leaping rituals, where acrobats performed dangerous feats with bulls. The tribute of youths sent to the labyrinth may reference that historical practice of Athenian political hostages being sent to Crete, or perhaps commemorates victims of a devastating earthquake that destroyed much of the palace around 1700 BCE. 9. The Amazon Warriors. Greek myths described a society of fierce female warriors called Amazons who lived beyond the known world. For centuries, scholars dismissed these tales as pure fiction, until archaeological discoveries in the 1990s uncovered graves of battle-scarred female skeletons buried with weapons across the Eurasian steppe. DNA testing confirmed these women were Scythian warriors, nomadic people who controlled vast territories from the Black Sea to China between 900 BC and 200 CE. About one-third of Scythian women were buried with weapons and showed evidence of combat injuries, suggesting they fought alongside men, just as the mythical Amazons were described. 8. The Great Flood. Flood myths appear in over 300 cultures worldwide, from the biblical story of Noah to the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh. Geological evidence suggests these widespread stories likely originated from actual catastrophic flooding events. One leading theory points to the rapid flooding of the Black Sea around 5600 BCE, when rising Mediterranean waters breached the Bosphorus Strait, submerging over 100,000 square kilometers of land. Other researchers suggest melting glaciers at the end of the last ice age caused dramatic sea level rises and devastating floods that would have seemed world-ending to ancient communities. These traumatic events were passed down through oral traditions, eventually becoming the worldwide flood myths we know today. 7. Atlantis. Plato's account of an advanced island civilization that sank beneath the waves has fascinated people for centuries. While no evidence of Atlantis, exactly as described, has been found, historians now believe Plato based his story on the very real Minoan civilization that was devastated by the massive Thera eruption around 1600 BCE. This volcanic explosion, one of the largest in human history, created tsunamis that destroyed coastal settlements across the Mediterranean. The once thriving Minoan culture on Crete never fully recovered. The catastrophic volcanic eruption, combined with the advanced Minoan civilization's sudden decline, likely provided the historical kernel for Plato's cautionary tale about a society destroyed by the gods. 6. The Trojan War. For centuries, Homer's epic poem about the war between Greeks and Trojans was considered pure mythology, until amateur archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann discovered the actual city of Troy in 1870. Excavations revealed multiple layers of settlement and evidence of destruction consistent with warfare during the period described in the Iliad. While elements like the involvement of gods and the wooden horse were certainly embellishments, historical records from hidden archives mention conflicts between Mycenaean Greeks and a city called Wilusa, likely Troy, over trade routes and resources. The mythical 10-year siege probably represents a series of conflicts that occurred over generations, preserved in oral tradition before Homer documented them. 5. The Vanishing Island of Lioness. Medieval legends tell of a land called Lioness that stretched from Cornwall to the Isles of Scilly before being suddenly swallowed by the ocean, leaving only the highest peaks above water. Geological studies confirm that rising sea levels after the last ice age gradually submerged a large landmass connecting these areas. with the final portions disappearing around 5000 BCE. Archaeological evidence, including stone tools and structures discovered on the seafloor, confirms human habitation in this now submerged region. The memory of this lost land was likely preserved through oral tradition for thousands of years before being recorded in medieval texts as the mythical kingdom of Lioness. 4. Dragons. Dragon myths appear in cultures worldwide, from European fire brothers to Chinese lung dragons. While these creatures seem purely imaginary, paleontological evidence suggests ancient humans likely encountered dinosaur fossils and attempted to explain them. In China's Sichuan province, where dragon legends are particularly strong, scientists have discovered rich deposits of dinosaur remains that have been exposed by natural erosion for thousands of years. Additionally, encounters with large reptiles like crocodiles and giant lizards, combined with natural human fear of predators, likely contributed to these widespread myths. Some researchers even suggest that dragon myths might preserve distant ancestral memories of prehistoric human encounters with the last living dinosaurs or other large reptiles. 3. The city of Dorca. Hindu texts describe Dorca as a magnificent city built by the god Krishna and later submerged by the sea. In 2001, archaeologists discovered ruins of an ancient city off the coast of modern Dorca in India, dating to approximately 1500 BCE. These underwater structures feature stone blocks arranged in geometric patterns consistent with sophisticated urban planning described in ancient texts. The discovery of anchors and artifacts suggests it was once a thriving port city before rising sea levels submerged it. While the connection to Krishna remains mythological, the discovery confirms that the legend of a magnificent submerged city was based on a real urban center that catastrophically flooded thousands of years ago. 2. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Hanging Gardens were described as an engineering marvel with cascading tiers of exotic plants in the desert. Yet no archaeological evidence has been found in Babylon despite extensive excavations. Recent research suggests the gardens may have actually existed in the Assyrian city of Nineveh. Archaeological discoveries there revealed an elaborate aqueduct system that could have supported elevated gardens as described in ancient texts. King Sennacherib's inscriptions boast about water-raising screws and gardens containing plants from all over the world. The mythical attribution to Babylon likely occurred as stories were retold and merged with tales of Babylon's other architectural wonders. 1. The Oracle at Delphi. Ancient Greeks believed the oracle at Delphi could communicate with Apollo and predict the future while in a trance-like state. Modern geological studies have discovered that the temple sits directly above the intersection of 2 major fault lines. Chemical analysis of spring water near the site reveals traces of ethylene gas, which can induce a euphoric, trance-like state when inhaled. The priestesses likely breathed these naturally occurring vapors, rising through fissures beneath the temple, genuinely experiencing altered states of consciousness. The oracle's cryptic prophecies guided major political and military decisions throughout ancient Greece, making this myth based on reality one of the most influential in history, as geological phenomena created the conditions for what many consider divine communication. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.